Slavery is a very difficult topic to discuss, and quite frankly, there are no redeeming qualities or anything favorable to say about slavery and the vast majority of slave owners historically. But there are some exceptions, and one of the exceptions for me is a figure I've been interested in for a number of years in terms of Florida history, which is Zephaniah Kingsley, who moved to Florida when it was still ruled by the Spanish in the Second Spanish period, established a number of plantations, had slaves, which does not speak well of him, and was involved in the slave trade, which does not speak well of him, but he also took an African wife, Anna, and effectively made her a business partner, employed lots of free blacks. He had freed a number of his slaves and used them as domestic workers, employed them. Spain had a much more liberal kind of interpretation of slavery than the United States did, and Kingsley, once Florida became part of the United States, found himself increasingly at odds with the way the territory was being governed and the sort of heavy-duty, hardcore, racist slave codes that the United States was implementing on Florida. So he eventually moved with his family to Haiti, which was, of course, governed by blacks. So very complicated figure. These are some pictures from his plantation in Jacksonville, the one that is preserved by the National Park Service. He had some other plantations in the state, one really big one on Fort Drayton Island in the St. Johns River, in what is now either Putnam or Clay County. I'm not sure which county that would actually be in, or St. Johns County is the boundary between those two counties and St. Johns County. So in Drayton Island. And again, slavery, a terrible thing, and there were some terrible things about Kingsley, but also some redeeming qualities he had, and the slavery was so oppressive in the United States as opposed to the way it had been in Spain, in Spanish-governed Florida when Kingsley moved to Florida, that he and his family and the freed blacks that he employed left and moved to Haiti before Florida became a state, and he never returned to Florida to live after that, which says a lot about how bad slavery was, how bad the plantation economy was, and how bad the attitudes in the American South were about race, that even a more moderate slaveholder would find that he would have to leave. That's how bad it was. So a history lesson in a sense, and these are pictures from around the plantation, which is now administered by the National Park Service.